What's up, guys? My name is TechnoTuner, and today I'm bringing to you my Ancient Gear deck profile. Note that at the end, I will state that there are a fewer cards in the extra deck because I don't have the extra deck spots really available right now. So the extra cards I would like to put into it. So please feel free to supplement as you would like. But I did want to still bring this deck to you because Ancient Gear has been such a fun deck to see played. It's also one of my best friend's decks that he loves to play, and it's his most widely known deck. This deck I made just specifically so I can go on par to par with him for a punching match if I need to. And I can't say that this deck has failed me in any instance. From it being able to just put up a giant 3K, 4K, 4500 beater, it does not matter. This deck will end up to where you're just punching in for a lot of damage. And you can have a lot of fun with it. While it being a GX anime archetype, this deck will always seem to get support when you least expect it, and it always does turn out pretty daggone good to allow you to further play through things and just improve the deck playstyle. Note that I am not playing any hand traps for this deck. I just want to make that clear ahead of time so you can feel free to modify as you would like to include those as you need. But this is more of a fun, casual deck that I like to play with friends on the side just to have fun. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop right on in to this deck profile. So, of course, as you can see, we're playing the one OG Ancient Gear Golem. Cannot be special summoned. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate spells or traps until the end of the damage step. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. I'm also playing the one Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound. Up to twice per turn when this attacking card destroys a monster by battle. If it attacks a defense position monster, you can discard one machine monster. This card can attack again in a row. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add one polymerization from your deck to your hand. If you do, add one other Ancient Gear monster from your graveyard to your hand. Cannot be special summoned. That's perfectly fine. We're basically running these two because of the name Ancient Gear Golem. Next, I play the two Ancient Gear Dark Golem. This card's name becomes Ancient Gear Golem while on the field or in the graveyard. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add up to 2 cards, Ancient Gear cards, and or Gear Town from your deck to your hand, except Ancient Gear Dark Golem, then discard 1 card. You also cannot set cards for the rest of the turn. You can only use the effect of Ancient Gear Dark Golem once per turn. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate spell or traps until the end of the damage step. Perfectly fine. We're basically utilizing it for the actual effect it has, and since it is technically Ancient Gear Golem. Next, the one card that nobody really expects anyone to be playing anymore is the Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. Sorry, it's a little blurry there. But if this card was tribute summoned using an Ancient Gear monster, attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. If this card was tributed by attributing a gadget monster, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. If this card attacks, your opponent's spell and trap cards and monster effects cannot be activated until the end of the damage step. At the end of the damage step, if this card attacked, you can destroy 1 spell and trap card on the field. It's just a great way to do more damage and get more pops because we do play the one Ancient Gear gadget in the deck. Next, for the fun monsters that I like to play, 3 Ancient Gear statue. Now, do note I am trying to find extra copies for my deck to where I can run, what is it? It's the spell card Factory of Mass Production. No, it's Machine Duplication. Excuse me, Machine Duplication. Because with Machine Duplication, you can summon all 3 of these, and it makes it hilarious because if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can special summon Ancient Gear statue once per turn this way. You can tribute this card special summon from your deck 1 Ancient Gear Golem or 1 monster that mentions it, ignoring its summoning conditions. So basically, if you have all 3 out, you can tribute each one. And, well, you can't tribute each one, but you can still utilize this for one of them, and then 2 for a tribute. Or fusion material. It just basically gets you more material to do other plays. Overall, sorry about that. This card is brand new. I did get it, and I have yet to test it, but I have had a lot of fun without it. In this case, before I was running this, I was running 2 of the extra commons, which you'll see later on. But Ancient Gear Statue does have a lot of capabilities of allowing you to further play and getting more for your more bang for your buck to be able to get a Ancient Gear Golem onto the field for the Ancient Gear Fusion. Well, what other cards are we playing? Well, for that, I do play some standards, which are 3 Ancient Gear Wyvern, which is your normal summon and search for an Ancient Gear card. Then we have Ancient Gear Frame, which is a base common. You can discard 1 card, add 1 Ancient Gear Golem, or 1 spell and trap that specifically lists Ancient Gear Golem in its text from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of Ancient Gear Frame. If this card attacks your opponent, they cannot activate spell or trap cards until the end damage step. If this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of the opponent's card effect, special summon up to 3 Ancient Gear Golem and or Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound from your hand, ignoring summoning conditions. That effect comes up so rarely, but we're utilizing Ancient Gear Frame to basically get us access to spells that we need to utilize. Now, before I was running 3 of this, I was running 3 Ancient Gear Tanker, 3 Ancient Gear Commander, and 3 Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. The reason why I'm running these at 2 now is because of the statue. Ancient Gear Tanker is great because if this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions, or if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon from your graveyard instead. So you can revive any of these monsters without really worrying. You can target 1 face-up card you control, destroy it, and for the rest of this turn, all monsters you control that are Ancient Gear, Golem, or mention it gain 600 attack, so it becomes basically a boosted attack. Next, we have 2 Ancient Gear Commander. This card is insane because you can send 1 Ancient Gear Golem from your hand, deck, or face-up monster zone to the graveyard. Normal summon 1 Ancient Gear monster after this effect resolves. If you normal or special summon Ancient Gear Golem, you can special summon 1 Ancient Gear Golem from your hand or graveyard, ignoring summoning conditions. You can banish this card from your graveyard, place 1 Ancient Gear Continuous Trap from your hand face up on the field. You can only use the effect of Ancient Gear Commander once per turn. And then finally we have Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. If this card is normal summoned, inflict 600 damage to your opponent. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate any spell or trap cards until the end of the damage step. Once per turn, you can fusion summon 1 Ancient Gear Fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. Then finally, for the last monster, we're playing 1 Ancient Gear Box. I did cut the Ancient Gear Gadget, even though that is probably what would be necessary for this one, but Ancient Gear Box also gives us such a good effect because this card is added from deck or graveyard to your hand, except by drawing it. You can add 1 Earth Machine type monster with 500 attack and or defense from your deck to your hand, except Ancient Gear Box. So if you basically add this, you can then search up Ancient Gear Statue and get you rolling right away. It'll also get you either Ancient Gear Commander or Ancient Gear Frame as necessary. That's all the monsters that I really play for this deck. However, what about the spells and traps? For the spells and traps, I'm running 3 Ancient Gear Fortress, 3 Ancient Gear Advance, 3 Ancient Gear Fusion, 3 Gear Town, 2 Ancient Gear Catapult, 2 Overload Fusion. Let me move these over here. 2 Evolution Endburst, and 2 Power Bond. I am also running a few other cards, but I'm going to get to those as needed. Well, upcoming next. During the turn for Ancient Gear Fortress, during the turn, they were normal or special summon. Your opponent cannot target Ancient Gear monsters you control with card effects. They also cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of Ancient Gear cards and effects. If this card is destroyed in the spell and trap zone, you can special summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from your hand or graveyard. You also cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except Ancient Gear monsters. Ancient Gear Advance. This card is activated. Add 1 Ancient Gear, spell, and trap from your deck to your hand, except Ancient Gear Advance. Once per turn, you contribute 1 monster, draw 1 card, and apply this effect for the rest of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. You can normal summon 1 Ancient Gear Golem or level 5 or higher monster that mention it without tributing. You cannot set cards the turn you activate this card. You can only activate 1 Ancient Gear Advance once per turn. Ancient Gear Fusion is basically the branded fusion of the deck. but also functions as polymerization. Fusion summon one Ancient Gear Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from hand or field as fusion material. If you use Ancient Gear Golem or Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound, you control as fusion material. You can also use monsters from your deck as material. Gear Town, the base field spell of the Ancient Gear deck. Both players can normal summon Ancient Gear monsters for one less tribute. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Ancient Gear monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Ancient Gear Catapult. While you control no monsters, you can target one face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon one Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring summoning conditions. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon one Ancient Gear token. Machine, Earth, level 1, attack 0, defense 0. You can only use one Ancient Gear Catapult once per turn, and only once per turn. Overload Fusion. Fusion summon one Dark Fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing materials listed on it from your field and or graveyard. The card that goes into Cyber Dragon but works so well for this deck, which is Evolution End Burst. Add one Overload Fusion from your deck to your hand, and if you fusion summon a monster this turn with Overload Fusion using 6 or more monsters as material, that monster can attack a number of times each battle phase this turn, up to the number of monsters used as its fusion materials. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except with spell effects. You can only activate Evolution End Burst once per turn. Power Bond. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. And if you do, it gains attack equal to its original attack during the end phase of this turn. This card is activated. You take damage equal to the amount of the attack gained from this effect at the time of the summon. So basically, it can turn your Ancient Gears into a lot bigger monsters that are a lot bigger threats. Anyways, aside from those spells, what we have up for the final 3 spells and traps. It's 2 Urgent Schedule and 1 Ancient Gear Duel. For Urgent Schedule, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon one level 4, one level 4 or lower, and 1 level 5 or higher Earth Machine monster from your deck in defense position, but negate their effects. Also, you cannot declare attacks the turn you activate this card except machine monsters. If this set card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 level 10 machine monster from your deck to your hand. So basically it gets you your Ancient Gear Golems if they are sent from your hand to the graveyard, or if they're sent from the field to the graveyard, not from the hand. And the other thing is it lets you get more monsters onto the board as needed. Then the Ancient Gear Duel. Ancient Gear Golem and monsters that mention in your monster zone are unaffected by your opponent's activated monster effects. If your opponent controls a monster, you can fusion one fusion monster that mentions Ancient Gear Golem from your extra deck by banishing monsters from your field or graveyard as material, including Ancient Gear Golem you control. And if you do, you can make up to 3 attacks during each battle phase. You only use this effect of Ancient Gear Duel once per turn. Overall, this trap is very beneficial for the deck, as it lets you get further recovery as needed. Well, what about the extra deck? As you guys have seen, I do play Howitzer, and I do play 3 of him. 3 Ancient Gear Howitzer because it takes 2 Ancient Gear monsters. It's unaffected by other card effects during your main phase. You can inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. You can only use the effect of Ancient Gear Howitzer once per turn. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Great way to get Ancient Gear Golem out, also while doing some burn damage. Next, I play 2 Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. Must be fusion summoned if this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. If this card attacks your opponent, cannot activate spell or trap cards until the end of damage step. If this card is destroyed, you can target 1 Ancient Gear Golem in your graveyard and special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions. I also play 2 Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. Must be fusion summoned, cannot be special summoned by other ways, unaffected by spell and trap effects. Your opponent's monsters cannot activate their effects during the battle phase. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. Especially when you're using Power Bond, this card can go up to 9k just for an attack which is insane overall. Next, I play the 3 Ancient Gear Megaton Golem. 3 Ancient Gear monsters. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards until the end of the damage step. If this was fusion summoned using 2 or more Ancient Gear Golem and or Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound as material, it can attack up to that many times during each battle phase. If this card is fusion summoned, card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Overall, it helps out so much. Then finally, I play the 2 Ancient Gear Ballista. It's 2 Earth Machine monsters. If this card is link summoned, add 1 Ancient Gear monster or Gear Town from your deck to your hand. You can target 1 spell or trap card you control, and 1 face-up monster opponent controls. Destroy that card you control, and if you do, change that opponent's attack and defense for their monster to 0 until the end of the turn. You can only use each effect of Ancient Gear Ballista once per turn. Now, as a funny thing that I do like to run, I do run the 1 number XX Utopic Dark Infinity, because it takes 2+ level 10 monsters. When a monster is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can attach 1 material from this card, target that monster, special summon to your field and defense position. You can target 1 other face-up special summon monster you control, gain life points equal to its original attack. You can only use each effect of number XX Utopic Dark Infinity once per turn. It's the one card that nobody really expects, but that's if you are not locked and if you are able to really utilize this card as a follow-up play if you have 2 Ancient Gear Golems on the board. Excuse me, not Ancient Gear Golems. One of these 2. Because if I remember correctly, Ancient Gear Golem is a 8. That is correct. Reactor Dragon is a 9. And Megaton 2, 3, 4 is a 10 along with Ultimate Golem. So overall, he's been cut nonetheless, just because of utility. But it is a fun tech if you like to be funny and run that for just a offhand. Well, I need to get rid of my Ancient Gear stuff. Oh well. Either way, I'm sorry about that. But I do like to say that that does leave you open to a lot of free spots in your extra deck to run other things, whether it be the Infinitrack engine, the you can run Infinitracks, you can run, I've seen where somebody's done K9. There's a lot you can do with Ancient Gear unto itself, along with Earth Machine archetypes, to further your plays and keep that playability up and going. Overall, guys, this is what I have for my Ancient Gear deck. I hope you guys did greatly enjoy. If you did, please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. It means so much to me. And if you do leave a comment, I will try to respond as fast as possible. Anyways, guys, I hope you greatly enjoyed today's video. And if you did, please leave that like. Either way, I hope you all have a great one, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Is it okay if I'm to say I'm catching feelings from all the dealings? Am I astray? What do you say? How are you feeling? Is it the same?